Hi everyone, welcome to another session on CSS5, that is Career Starter Series with 5 questions, where young professionals get to share about the career journey to inspire others out there. With me today is Tosin. I've known Tosin since our undergraduate days, and Tosin studied geography, and right now Tosin is already in tech. Is already in the tech industry, and I'm wondering, the rapid switch was, really incredible. And then I had Tosin, would you come share your, career journey with us on Set5? And he was like, yes, no problem. So it's super nice to have Tosin on board today to share his experience. He's going to walk us through how he's able to transition from geography to technology. Hi, Tosin. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Hi, Funky. I'm fine. Nice to be here. I'm so sorry.
Right, I know. Same here. So good to connect with you again. So let's just go straight down into the questions. So can we meet you, Tosin? What have you been into? What projects have you worked on? And what would you like to share with young professionals out there?
Okay, so yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Tosin Rotimi-Dokun, and currently I am a software engineer, focused on the front end of development. So you could say I'm a front end software engineer. And, I have always not been a software engineer, like Monica said. I studied geography in school. From geography, I was a designer for a while. Then after a few years, I was a product manager for a while, which was more like program management before I decided to then make that final switch to software engineering, which is where I am right now. Yeah, I'm also a Christian, yeah, and a very curious guy. So that's just me.
Okay, great. Thank you for that, Tosin. So our next question, what actually got you started in software development? You shared with us that you've moved from one job role to another job role. So what got you started in software development? Is it for the money, or you want to build products that that can transform the life of people, or you're just passionate about development, software development? So what got you started?
Oh, interesting. I like to be honest when I answer this question, right? Because people, to be
Okay.
honest, yeah. So I was already in tech, and I was doing program management for a very top company, corporation for people that care to know. A corporation is like this accelerator. It has a unit that deals with startup accelerator programs, right? Where they're managing startups for um, programs, international companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon. They would sponsor these programs and would take the startups through, like, say, 3 to 6 months program to help them grow their businesses. But there was an interesting one I worked on, which was the partnership with Facebook, and the kind of founders that we were working with on those projects were technical mostly. It was a
Mm.
criteria to be selected, right? And some of them were developers who already had jobs, right? So I worked with a lot of developers at this point. And when you see the kind of value that is awarded to developers, you wonder what is wrong, right? I am someone who, I know my stuff here, comes to meet me for advice, right? So I know that yes, I'm good at my job as a program manager.
Mm-hmm.
But you just work a few hours and you're paid a lot of money. Why? Is it that you are better than me? No. So I just had to like come to the fact that these guys are really valued because they are in demand and we don't have a lot of supply, right, for the skill. So if you want the kind of money that you want, then you must be willing to do the work that they have done to get there, right? And so I was considering it because I really wanted to be valued for my time. I wanted you to pay me more for the time that I spend on my work. Not to say that what I was doing before wasn't good. I was really enjoying it and I was doing well at it. I think I'm someone who has done well at everything that I've tried: design, program management, and coding itself. So it was more of curiosity, but curiosity that had expected results. Curiosity that you know that if you follow through, you'll be rewarded well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Right.
it for me. I'm not the kind of person that be on one side. It was curiosity that had a reward in view.
Yeah, that's true. I
So that
feel
was it
like
for me.
everyone wants to be valued for their time, and for their, energy
Mm.
invested in whatever they're doing. Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that curiosity, which is actually key in whatever you're doing. Even if you're still on the job and you love what you do, you need to be curious about moving to the next stage. You need to keep growing and keep getting better, right? Thank you so much for sharing, Tosin. So our next question, what are the top three things that you can point to? I know that they can be more than three, but just tell us the top three things, that you can say has helped you so far in your career journey.
Okay. I think first of all, it's personality. And
Mm-hmm.
I say to everybody that wants to try to like come into software development, I get that a lot almost every day. People are trying to switch, but you can tell someone who's going to be successful to an extent from conversations with them or just watching them for a day or two, right? Your success in software engineering depends largely on you, which has to do with self-discipline and consistency. How driven are you to really, really like get this out, right? So I was very driven, and people always told me that I was very driven. Guy, you take a lot of big risks. Why? So I remember in 2019, I started my master's in Unilag. The set that just graduated this January, right, 2021. I started my
Oh,
master's in 2019, and after a month, I left. I left the program, right? I left a day before the school fees of the deadline would close. I left before that day because I was already in tech and I think I was enjoying myself. And it was big for people to quit your master's program. And then I quit my job again. So I've always been a driven person,
wow.
and I've had like that for a while. I think that helped a lot. That self-discipline helps a lot, and that helped me accelerate my career. I think the quality of the people that you are surrounded with
Mhm.
matters, right?
Yeah.
I was already in product management. I done design before, and I had guys who were already like team leads in other companies or already leading other companies that were my friends, right? So it didn't really matter that I was going to go and learn software engineering from the beginning. I still had them in my network, and particularly today, I was actually funny enough. It's a coincidence, but I was reminiscing today about everything that has happened so far. I realized it is February, and I quit my job in January, started coding in February of 2021. So it's exactly 1 year since I quit,
Wow.
and I've had multiple offers. And I mean, I still remember rejecting 2 offers this week because I was mad and I can't take any more jobs. So see what has happened in
Yeah.
1 year. Quality of the people in my life,
Yeah.
self-discipline has also helped. And the third thing is to be vulnerable when you are in maybe difficult situations. When you know you don't know something, just be vulnerable. There are times that you be frustrated and you want to cry, right? Just express
Right.
yourself with vulnerable people. Yeah, you need that community of people that can let you know. So I was going through a tough time recently, and then I called up one senior guy who is like a mentor in coding, right? It's not like he teaches me how to code, but he just pushes me and encourages me. And I will share my story with him, and I feel like I'm tired. I want more. And by the time he responded back to me, he told me that this was the exam story he had when he was starting as well. And that made me feel like, oh, someone has gone through what I've gone through. And he told me what he did.
Like you're
And
not
I just did the
alone.
same thing. And I feel fine, right? Exactly. And you have to just be open to accept that. So vulnerability helped me to be able to accept that I can leave what I was doing before to even switch in the first place. And I think it's helped me so far. So I just say self-discipline is important. I would say having quality of your network, to be honest, brings kind of jobs that you would get, and then mentorship, someone that will guide you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And I can also attest to that because in life, there's no success in I, but in we. So the kind of success you want to achieve, can be traced to
Mm-hmm.
the kind of people that you have around you. Thank you much for sharing
Exactly.
that, Sophie. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so
Thank
much.
you too.
So if there is one thing, just one thing that you wish to God, I wish I'd known this earlier in my career, what would that be?
It's interesting for me to start thinking back and say there's this one thing that I should have known because it's just 1 year of software development. But I think there's still one thing. I mean, thinking about it, I think the level of complexity when it comes to the projects that you work on as software engineer determines your growth. So it's not about the years of experience that you have. Like it's not about
Yeah.
having 5 years. If someone that has 3 years works on very complex projects that you've not worked on before and the person does this consistently, you guys will be in the same room, but you'll be surprised. I met someone who who I feel is below where he is right now. And when I asked him about why he's this good and confident about himself, he said that he was coming from a place where he had more responsibility than his level. So he had to level up
Mm.
to like a team lead role and take on a lot of things. So he learned a lot. So if you're in more difficult situations, you learn more, you become a better, right? So I would rather not instead of seeing challenges, right, in maybe a particular job I'm about to take, I would rather embrace it because I know it's going to make me better than wanting to stay in a place
Yeah.
where I know that they will not give me too much of work. I'll just be doing small here and be doing my career small. But this time, no, let's bring all the challenges. I mean,
Bring
I
the
know that
big
when I'm
one.
done, I'm going to be a better person. Yeah. So that's that thing that I know that I'll embrace more challenges and next time earlier than I did.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. Relate to that
Yo.
because my boss, like my supervisor, was recruiting recently, and it was like because someone writes 5 years of experience does not mean that someone with 2 years experience, cannot level up and be on the same, on the same level because what the person has done in two
Yeah.
years, in fact, the person who has 5 years experience might not even be able to, handle it. And that's what it says that
Mm,
whatever organization you even decide to join in the nearest future, ensure that the path that they're going to create for you is something that you can level up to
mm,
anytime. So even if it's just 1 year you spend within the organization, by the time you're leaving, like you are way better. You are already like a sword. That anything that comes there, you are ready to,
yeah.
cut it through. Fantastic. I really love that too. My mind never went
Yeah.
there before. So thank you for sharing that, Sophie. Yeah, so
Yeah,
our
sure.
next
Thank you.
question, right? If
Mhm,
someone now, there's someone somewhere like saying, "Oh, I didn't do anything related to
mhm,
computer science while in my
mhm,
undergraduate level, but then I want to switch into tech," what would you advise the person to do? What steps would you advise the
mhm,
person to
mhm,
take?
mm. To be honest, I don't think there's one answer to it. I think it's a couple of
Okay.
points for me
Oh yes,
because my,
please
my journey
share.
was a yeah was a journey, and I know I'm going to be telling this story for a long time because I want to tell it. There's the reality
Yeah,
of it. I mean, there's the part where coding programs will come and people come and tell you come to coding, come and make money, come and do and that. But when you start it, oh my god, if you are not a strong person, you just drop out and run away, right? But
I
number
can
one for
attest
me,
to
like I
that.
said, okay, I think I understand what that means. That's fine.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I mean, number one for me, I think I said it before in one of my previous points. You can tell from the beginning someone who's going to be successful or not. You need a lot of self-discipline and consistent keep going. To be honest, you do. I think if and I don't know if this question is to just graduates or to people that also want to switch careers, people that are already working
Yes, you can handle
like
both.
in other places. For
Yeah, you can handle
I
both
think
of
for
them.
for graduates, I think for graduates it's quite easy to be honest, compared to the people who are already working. And the reason why I say that is because of the way Nigeria is structured. I mean, our economy. There's a high tendency that as a graduate, you are still collecting money from some places, right? So you can survive with this. But if you're someone who's already working, there's a high tendency that you stop collecting money from home, and there's a high
Yeah.
tendency that if you have siblings that are younger than you, they're already depending on you. So why would you say that you will leave a job that is paying you well and you want to go and code? Like, what would you
All
eat in
right.
the period of transition? You don't want to try it out, which is what I did. I quit my job when I was already working, all right, and I was earning quite well in a very good organization. But I had to like understand, right, that this was my decision and I had to like go through this journey myself. But when I'm advising people, I just tell them if you want to switch careers to coding, right, if you don't have food and accommodation for the period of your learning, consider it well before you quit. Because if you are hungry, you will not write code. That's the
Yes,
truth.
so
No matter how motivated you are, if you're hungry, you will never understand the code that they're teaching you. You just want to eat, you want to sleep somewhere. For me, I had friends,
Yeah.
right, so that were able to support me in that period, and I think that what helped ease my journey, right? I had friends who helped me. So if you have friends that can help you that period, financially, this was when I actually understood that there's a difference between having kind friends and having kind friends that have money, right? Because
Mm.
your friends are kind, but if they don't have money, the best they can do is
Yeah.
wish that they could help you, but
Mm-hmm.
they won't go and borrow money for to come and borrow you, right? So it's the people that have the
Yes.
money that have the money. That's why it's important to have friends that have money. So they helped me through my journey,
Right.
right? Yeah, yeah. And I would say that when you start, right, you can go two ways, right? Me, I focused on coding alone, so I quit my job. And the reason why I quit my job was because I tried to learn code with my job before, but I realized that the demands of my job always comes from time to time, and I might leave coding for like 2, 3 months, sometimes 6 months, and I won't come back to it. So I needed focus to do something. So come to think of it, I used to tell people that if you spend the number of hours that you've spent on your current job, right? If you spend it on coding, right, you'll be good in coding because you just
Yeah.
need consistency and a lot of time spent on doing something, right? So this will even help you know that you can do it, right? How did you get good at your job? You've been doing it for a while now. If you stay
Yeah.
at coding, you're going to be good. It's just a matter of time doing it and you'll be good,
Mm.
right? So this is to help people come in, right? So you can either focus on coding alone or you do it by the side. And for people that want to work and do it by the side, these people need a lot of discipline because if you go to
Mm-hmm.
work physically and then you come back in the night in Lagos traffic, you're going to sleep off
You'll
because
be so
you're not prepared to
tired.
stay
Mm-hmm.
yet. So the code will not enter yet. So I had to face the reality, to be honest. There were a couple of people in my boot camp program that were working. And when it was like 3 months into the program, people started quitting their jobs because you can't
Yeah.
combine it and do so well, especially if you're someone that wants to transition within 6 months. Then you need to do it full time, right? So it requires a lot of attention, right? Um, you can't undermine consistency, to be honest. If you keep doing
True.
it, you get better at it, like I said. And I think that the best ways to switch to programming is through boot camps, in my opinion. I don't really enjoy self-taught learning programs.
Mm.
I prefer boot camps that are targeted at a number of months, and they're telling you that between this time and this time, we're going to teach you this, and by this time you'll be work ready to get a job. And you know that that's all
Mm.
you're doing. They have a curriculum that has moved over years. They have mentors, they have assignments. I think their boot camps are probably one of the best ways to switch. So if you're thinking of like switching, you should actually try out like a boot camp. To be honest, and I think my second to the last point is that the best way to code or to learn code is to code. There's
Yeah.
no
Mm.
motivation there. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, there was a hard truth that I learned. There was a hard truth that I learned. If you want to be a good software engineer, you must be able to sit down on your chair for hours and not stand up
Mm.
and figure the thing out and solve it. Which was different from me because where I was coming from, I was a product manager and it was meetings, talk, talk, talk. No people. But this new job, I don't really talk to people. I'm just on my system, so
Yeah,
it's
with
very
yourself
hard.
and your
But I'm
laptop.
adjusting. Yeah, I'm adjusting, right? And I get at least to express myself when there are times that we have to have meetings. And to be honest, people testify that my product experience actually shows in my work, even in
Mm.
the office, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
So that's an advantage for me. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the last one is to have mentors. You need people that have walked the path that you walked before. Because you've seen that they've been able to do it, it gives you motivation to keep doing it, to share vulnerabilities with them or problems that you have with them, and then they help and guide you. I hope that when people, I hope that people will be able to get all these points I said. I think they're quite a lot that I mentioned.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tosin. Thank you. So you mentioned that
Well,
there are two parts to it, right? That you can either do self-paced, that is learning on your own, or joining a boot camp. But a boot camp is better because
mhm,
your readiness is really high when you join a boot camp than when you're doing a self-paced learning, and then get yourself mentors and actually
yeah,
do the coding work. Sit down 4 hours,
yeah,
write the code down, and then get your hands dirty.
yeah,
Thank you so much, Tosin, for that.
exactly.
So our final
Yeah,
question,
yeah,
there is one thing you can tell young professionals, but I think I would like you to direct it more to software engineers. If there's one thing you can tell them, what would that be?
There's one thing, like in terms of like
Yeah,
a word that I want to share with software engineers. Uh,
yeah.
it's interesting. It's difficult to like advise my fellow comrades that could.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I think that there's a general principle that could be applied to like a lot of places that I could also bring to coding. And I think it was a concept that I was still thinking about recently up till yesterday. There's something that they call what's the thing they call when you are scared that people think you don't know something. I don't know. I'm not getting that word right now. Yeah. So I forgot it to be honest. I've forgotten the word. But there's a dilemma where you think that you're not good, right? At something, so you downplay yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then other people also think that they're not good at something and they downplay themselves. But to you, they're good, right? And to them, you're good. Do you get? So
Right.
what I've learned is that yeah, I mean everybody assumes that they are not good and other people think that they're good. And there are some set of people that are not good, but they appear to show that they are better. Do you get?
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't know too much is flaunting with the one that he has, and the one that knows a
Mhm.
lot thinks that he doesn't know much. Do you get? The one that shows up with the thing that he knows, most likely will go farther than the one
Yeah.
who's restricting himself, thinking he doesn't know a lot. You get? So
Mhm.
I've experienced this, and I think it's helping me because I mean I've not just been a software engineer, and in my former job when I was a program manager, I think visibility really helped me a lot to be able to get the attention
Mhm.
of the executives in the company. And when they wanted to do some very key, delicate research tasks, they would always call my name in the boardroom meeting, right?
Wow.
And that was because I was visible. And to be honest, while I was visible, I was scared that I might be saying rubbish, or maybe I might not know much, but I was doing it right. So with the little that you have as a software engineer, I think you must be confident about it, talk
Mhm.
about it, take people in and train them, right? And just put very good value on yourself, and you go very far. I think that would help for a software engineer.
Wow. Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And that's really powerful. When you think that other people think you're not good enough. Meanwhile, what you even have is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
It gets represented
Mm-hmm.
to the world. So I feel like we shouldn't limit ourselves in our minds, in our heads. No matter how
Yeah.
little knowledge you have, you can actually share with other people and let people know what you're doing. Like it is so powerful. There's sometimes I tell my friend that, oh, this is what I do. And I've known friends that would eventually reach out and say, oh, okay, I saw this online. I think it will help you based on what you told me the last time. So no matter what you're doing, let people know what you're into so that they can actually support your dreams. There are sometimes that my people will say,
Yeah.
my mom will be like, don't let anybody know. I don't let I'm like, mommy, nothing will happen to me. People need to know what I'm doing. It's actually good. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing that.
I
Thank
just
you so
remembered
much.
the you're welcome. I just remembered what I was trying to like the keyword I was trying to get in. It's imposter
Okay.
syndrome actually.
Oh
Right. That
yeah,
was what I was going to say.
imposter
There's an
syndrome.
opposite of
Oh yeah.
yeah. There's an opposite of imposter syndrome, which is they call it the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Where the
Okay.
person thinks that they overestimate their abilities. Let me put it that way, and the imposter syndrome underestimates their abilities.
Underestimate. Wow, wow. Fantastic. Sure. So
Yeah,
that's right. We
exactly.
shouldn't limit ourselves in our minds. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Tosin, for sharing. It's been nice having you today to share your career journey with us. And I'm so sure it's going to inspire other people out there. Thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.